Mr. Speaker, a great tragedy is now unfolding across America as we prepare for the new year. Millions of Americans are losing their health plans. Millions more are facing staggering price increases. Millions more are having their hours cut back at work or seeing their salaries pared back because of Obamacare. And sadly, this is just the beginning. In coming days, millions of employer-provided plans face cancellation, multiplying this disaster many-fold. The administration recently held a contest for videos to promote Obamacare. Its grand prize winner featured this message: "Don't worry about the price tag." Don't worry about the price tag? Isn't that helpful and compassionate advice to the millions of Americans who are struggling through the fifth year of Obamonomics and who are now also facing the reality of seeing their premiums doubling or tripling? Just don't worry about the price tag, skip the house payment, and cough up the extra cash. That's the best that this administration can offer. Many millions of Americans who had health coverage on New Year's Eve will not have it on New Year's Day because of Obamacare. And what awaits those who actually can sign up? Well, according to the government's own numbers, about two-thirds of exchange applicants have been forced into Medicaid. That includes many on limited incomes who've maintained bare-bones policies because they're desperately trying to stay out of Medicaid. Some have found that merely by looking at prices, they've ended up trapped in this dreaded welfare program. A major study documents that Medicaid patients have worse health outcomes than those without any insurance. And if you doubt that, just see how long it'll take you to see a Medicaid doctor, if you can find one, for a bad cold. If you're a part of the 1 in 3 exchange visitors who escape this fate, the next problem will be to find a doctor, any doctor. The president of the California Medical Association reports that 70% of California doctors will not accept Obamacare patients. That means the remaining 30% will be overwhelmed, resulting in life-threatening waiting lines. As patients desperately seek doctors in emergency rooms, actual emergencies will go waiting. Top-flight specialized doctors and facilities would become completely inaccessible as they opt out of the system. Those patients who actually can get an appointment may then discover that there's no record of their policy because the government hasn't been able to connect patients with their new insurers. Patients will next face the cold reality of sky-high deductibles and co-payments that many will be unable to pay. Many hospitals that serve large populations of the poor can only do so because of supplemental payments, but Obamacare is phasing those out. Some may be forced to close their doors. Those Obamacare patients fortunate enough to stay well in this brave new world can expect a highly elevated risk of identity theft in what the founder of McAfee security software calls a hacker's dream. And there's no need to wait for hackers. In some cases, the government has already accidentally released patients' private financial and medical information. Now, since so many people, particularly the young, are choosing not to pay inflated prices to subsidize others, we can expect another major round of rate increases next fall on those remaining in the system in order to make up the shortfalls. That is what the new year will bring to our country. Now, many of us in the House warned of this coming train wreck, and we tried at least to delay it. For this, we were called arsonists, terrorists, jihadists, and demagogues. But now those warnings have proven chillingly and entirely accurate. This program has devastated the lives of millions of Americans. This damage now cannot be undone by delaying it or tinkering with it. It must be repealed and replaced with the patient-centered plan proposed by House Republicans, a plan guided by individual freedom of choice and open competition. This will only happen if there's a massive change of heart by the congressional Democrats who imposed this nightmare on our country. Now is the time for all Americans whose lives have been upended by their folly to share their stories with their representatives and to pray that they actually can touch some hearts and change some minds during this holiday season. Otherwise, I'm afraid that New Year's Day will be nothing to celebrate. I yield back.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The chair now recognizes